Hey, it's Kayla. I wanted to make this video describing the first three videos I made and really explaining some of the stuff behind them. Okay, so I cut the video short and I also didn't really explain my points all the way through, and I also forgot a lot of the points I made, which all was because I had taken too much supplements, but I still wanted to really kind of explain that better. And part of the reason why I had taken like the amount I did was because I had been stressed out because of interactions with certain people online, just on top of other like stuff. But so back to the actual video. I had really only focused on one of the points I was going to make, which was a reaction to another video I saw, and I kind of wanted to explain why. So yeah, it was about Pop Trigger's reaction to the Finding Dory trailer and really, people's interpretation of it, I guess you could say. And the reason was, well, I first watched that trailer and people were excited in it, I guess, celebrating because there were some background characters who people thought at the time may have been gay. They thought they may have been a lesbian couple. And I guess to just, like, my initial reaction to celebrating those background characters was to feel kind of uncomfortable, a little bit weird about it, especially too after I had seen Pop Trigger's other video about making a main character in a Disney movie gay. So it seemed kind of weird to me. But I mean, like, well, this was before I'd even seen the reaction really to it. So this was before the 5 words or less. So this was, keep in mind too, this was all happening like pretty quickly. So it was a very initial response that I had to this whole thing. And then to see like the video on top of that confirm it, like a lot of the stuff I saw in the actual video confirmed what I was thinking. Just as far as, but just stuff Grace was saying, like even to the point where she was saying that it became more apparent, because honestly I don't always think about like oh, is this representing this group or that group. That's not something that's always on my mind, but yeah, when I first saw that, it definitely did. Yeah, it initially kind of felt off. And yeah, I don't always think about that. But if it was something like, if it was a supporting character versus a main character, that I could see more kind of going either way. But yeah, just with such a background character, that's definitely caught me off guard, and especially seeing the reaction. But I didn't mean for it to come off as like blunt, really. And obviously it ended up being fit into like my political views in a lot of ways, but I didn't really like mean for it to come out as blunt as it did, and without explaining things all the way through as they did. It just kind of like surprised me a bit, and I thought, oh, maybe I could get a conversation going about the Green Party, and that's one of the examples I can use. Because maybe there's a reason why I had that initial reaction that I did, and why I guess that's kind of a different kind of reaction than most people have. And I didn't even show up right before the election like I was planning on, but then I had wanted to say something about a certain bill that was coming up, and I thought, oh, the election's passed anyways, so because I didn't go through my ideas all the way, I kind of felt more uncomfortable doing it like right before the election, really. But I figured this would be better because it might just be a conversation starter. And like, keep in mind too, like, seeing Grace's reaction to this and being like, oh, like, is this really like kind of a different response that like maybe might, like, not in a like a bad way, just like catch people's attention, because I didn't know that. I didn't think my point of view was that different. I didn't think it was like anything, I don't know, like I thought, yeah, I thought that's how most people would react, including other straight people. And yeah, I mean, initially when I first saw it, I was kind of worried too, because I was like, well, it's weird to me, but I don't want to have an opinion, maybe, or not that I don't want to have an opinion, but I wouldn't want to like say something if there were certain gay people who were like, yeah, this is really great, I feel really included now. I just, I mean, I think that it, I just think that we should set a higher bar. That's all. I think initially, like I said, if it was a supporting character, that's one thing. But I do think that we should set a higher standard, because I think that these things like affect other things down the road. And even though like the argument I guess could be made like, oh, it's a step in the right direction, I also think it could like slow things down. And even if you're someone who's like, oh, I don't want to think about that when I'm watching a movie, like I just want to watch the movie, like that's not even important to me, who's represented versus who's not represented. If you think about it though, if we do start having more people represented, then it gets to a point, you know, quicker that, yeah, maybe like sooner it won't be a big deal, and we won't have to always be like worried about different people being represented. And I do have other ideas as far as how I think like representation in like movies in real life kind of reflect back on each other. But I kind of think I said enough for now, and yeah, I'm going to be talking about this and various other things at other points in time. And yeah, I hope I explained things a bit better.